If I quit now, then I'm dead wrong. Mm, the ultimate the ultimate price is regret. The ultimate price is regret, and I can't afford that. I can't afford to have shame. I can't afford to be shy. It's just not in the budget, right? And this song is where I was at last week. This video is a week late, guys. Listen, I've been going through, not even going through it, God forbid, please. I've been really busy. Um, but yeah, the ultimate price is regret, and I genuinely can't afford that. And I think this week I've just kind of been working with and through the pressure of holding everything at once, right? This last 2 weeks I've been talking about how like I've made the shift from being a half-hearted to a full-hearted in a sense of I'm going to give everything my all, but it's so draining. It's so draining. It's the hardship that I think J. Cole was referring to of like shit's gonna get hard. And when I first heard this song, I was like, ooh, I know what he's talking about because when I think hard, I think struggle. I think, ooh, I'm gonna be homeless in 20 minutes. But I think sat with this song now and then resonating with this song, I've realized that he's talking more so in a sense of the journey getting hard rather than the individual. And it's getting hard in a sense of it's heavy. It's a lot, holding everything at once and giving everything your all. Like the wholeness of that is very draining. And it requires a certain level of discipline and dedication and energy, that you haven't ever done or used before. Um, and yeah, that's where I was at this last week, in a sense of realizing as well it's actually not by force. You can leave, you can quit anytime you want to, but I can't. I can't. I could, but I can't. Like it's like she's gonna get hard, keep your head strong. If I quit now, then I'm dead wrong. I'm dead wrong. And it's that it was that realization of like this week I've been writing a lot more. I haven't been waiting for the permission of silence or permission of a good time or a good vibe to write. I've just been writing. And in that, I would just think, like, damn, like, if I was to stop writing now, like, that would be such a dishonor to me, to little me, to future me, to me. And yeah, I think it's very important to acknowledge the possibility of your dreams not being true. And that in itself is so scary. And I think it just, I don't think it furthers the fear of the unknown because that's a known. That in itself is a very grounding thought, I would say. Not grounding in a positive way, but just grounding in that it's a more stable, not stable, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a more guaranteed possibility, you know? Because chasing the actual dream, you have no idea where you're going. But if you were to stop, you're aware. Like, it's more of a conclusion. It's more of a assured conclusion of a certainty. And it's more comfortable. That's how you know that it's wrong. It's more comfortable. I wrote a blog on the importance of discomfort, and yeah, I think with that it's more so like that pull to that comfortability of being, of quitting, of like I could genuinely let go of this right now. I could drop all of this and I would be lighter and it would be easier, but at what cost? The ultimate price of regret. No, thank you. Yeah, this is where I was at this last week. And I think everything, when all in all, just boils down to fear. I think it's the fear of the unknown. I think, when J. Cole again says, can't be afraid of sunlight, spotlights when you're close. And I think being at the point whereby you have to accumulate all that you've gathered is a very close point to the end point. It's a closer point, we'll say. So it's like now that you're closer, it's like that retraction of like, oh, like this is a lot. and you feel that pull to just kind of like give up and like, you know, get back comfortable, or not even give up, or just, I guess, shrink back into the lesser part of, you know, still just doing everything half-heartedly. But it's like, no, you're at this part now, you must grow into it. You mustn't, really and truly you mustn't, but you should grow into it. And that's where I'm at. This is where I'm currently at. I can't be afraid of the sunlights or the spotlights when I'm close. And I've tried to film this video so many times, and I don't even think it's that I'm not articulating myself properly. I just think that I'm not doing this song enough justice. There's so much to be said and there's so much to be sat with. I think I've just let it fester for too long. I think it's very important for me to share the experience as I experience rather than as a memory. And I think that's where I've gone wrong this week. I think I've left it too long for me to sit with this song with you guys. But I'm trying my best. I'm gonna try and do it as much justice as I can. But it is just generally a great song, so please do add it to your playlist. I wonder if you guys actually add this to your playlist. I wonder if anyone actually listen. Anyways, let me not go on rambling. I don't feel too well as well. I kind of feel sick today, guys. Feeling vomity. But yeah, what else is there to be said about this beautiful, beautiful piece? I think a very massive thing in itself, I think a very massive thing as well is patience. Patience with yourself, patience with the journey, patience with life. And like when J. Cole says again in the song, I waited my turn like grains of sand inside the glass, I think it is. Was like, hold on, let me sit with that, because really and truly, like, you gotta wait your turn, you know? Because you see this thing, you see this last thing, yeah, it's very easy to compare yourself, and comparison genuinely is the thief of joy. And when you are going on your own journey and you're looking at other people's lanes and asking yourself, why is he further? Why is she doing this and I've been doing this for this long and I've not gotten there yet? But then you realize that, number one, we're not going to the same destination. So you might have seen, it might seem as if this person's passed you and they've stopped there and they've gotten it, whatever, but you don't even know if your lane is longer than theirs or thicker than theirs or more complicated than theirs. Like, you got no clue. So really and truly, drink water and mind your business. And it's easier said than done. I think it's a very human thing to compare and, dare I say, be jealous. I think the low vibration is envy when you allow that to fester up. I think it's very important to acknowledge those bad emotions and then move through them, you know, not with them, not to hold on to them, but definitely move through them. And yeah, this is where I'm currently at this week, and just remaining constant in everything that I'm doing, despite the pressure, despite the hardship of you know, being disciplined and knowing that, like, okay, I need to do this at this time. And it's not that you wake up one day and like you're perfectly perfect at being you. I think that's very disingenuous. I think the whole self-growth, I don't know what's the word, the whole perception of self-growth on social media just paints a very false illusion. And it's that thing of, like, you know, you then get to the reality, and because it doesn't look or feel or seem like what you've seen on social media, you don't even realize the actual reality of it. And I think a very massive thing is just the truth of how you actually overcome fear. And do you actually ever overcome fear? I don't think you do. I don't think a bungee jumper ever gets doesn't get scared or have their heart. Guys, I've been watching a lot of South African shows. What is scared? What is scared? I'm currently watching The Polygamist, and look at me just mirroring the accent. But I don't think somebody who's an adrenaline junkie becomes accustomed to the adrenaline. Like, you know, you become the adrenaline junkie because you always feel that adrenaline. You always feel the fear, but it's more so of how you move through it. And I think a lot of times on social media, it's painted as if, like, you know, you wake up one morning or like you keep practicing and then you become perfect at being you. And I think it just removes the responsibility of having to always choose better. I think in becoming, it's always a conscious effort. I don't think I think it becomes less of a conscious effort, but I think it will always be a conscious effort. I think it's always a choice. I think you always have the responsibility of choosing. I think whenever you give up that awareness, you become passive, and that's when you inevitably quit without even realizing it. I think it's very important to remain conscious and aware of that choice, in that you are always choosing to do better. You're always choosing to move through the fear, and it's more so that awareness of you know, like, yeah, I guess, like, in the moment of, like, you're not gonna wake up and all of a sudden you don't procrastinate anymore. It's like you wake up and then now it takes you shorter to overcome that procrastination. It takes you shorter to even, maybe you might, I don't know. Guys, listen, I feel really, really sick. I filmed this video way too many times. This is hands down the most amount of times I've filmed a video, and I'm tired. I've had it up to here. I've had it up to here. Tried my best to you know, share my emotions and where I was this week, and I will very much try my best to not delay the posting of the next video for this week. And yeah, I am Deem. This is me, and keep daring to dream.